What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NEVERsate.com, and welcome to today's video where I want to talk to you guys about how to breathe in the overhead press when you're going for something like a 1 rep max, or if you are going for reps, because in this exercise in particular, choosing how you breathe can greatly determine how you perform as well as how much weight you can add to the bar. And there's a ton of little tips and tricks that go along with the overhead press that normally talks about that I go through in detail in my overhead press help playlist, which you can find in the description box down below. Now, to start out today's video, I'd like to begin talking about how to breathe when you're going for a 1 rep maximum overhead press. And the first thing that you need to realize about this is that you are never going to be able to get as much air into your belly for your breathing and bracing when you are under the load of that bar and front rack than you are without it. So for that reason, I would highly recommend that you get your air and you brace it down before you rack that bar. So as you're getting your grip set, once you have it, I want you to squeeze that bar as hard as you possibly can and then get the biggest belly breath that you possibly can, brace it down, and then hold it. Now, you're gonna hold it while you're doing that. You're going to unrack the bar, walk the bar out, get your setup correct, flex your butt, and get into this press. You're gonna continue to hold that breath until you're probably about 85 to 90% done that entire press. There's only one exception, and that is if you're about to go to Sleepy Town. Now, if you did not know, sometimes if you're in the front rack, and some people when they're pressing above head, you can cut off a little bit of the blood circulation to your brain, and some people like to go sleepy time. Now, in 30 plus years of training as well as coaching, I've personally only seen maybe 1, maybe 2 people actually pass out during an overhead press. However, if you go on any internet gym fail site, you will see tons and tons of examples of this. However, it is super easy to avoid. Number 1, by flexing your butt. If a bar is in the front rack position or over your head, your butt should be flexed so your posterior chain is firing. And then number 2, guys, if you're going for a rep and suddenly the world starts closing off and you have nothing more than tunnel vision, then I'm sorry, but you should probably stop pushing the rep because you need blood and oxygen to your brain. Passing out and waking up with a big lump on your head because you fell into a big pile of dumbbells is not worth it, man. Live to fight another day. However, if you are one of the 99.9% of people that can do this completely fine and are able to do a very scary, risky technique of holding your breath, and you'll be shocked at how much weight this can actually add to your 1 rep maximum on the overhead press. Now, as we move on to discussing how to breathe when it comes to reps in the overhead press, you're gonna start out the exact same way in that you're going to get your air before you unrack this bar. Except this time, instead of breathing as you get that first rep all the way pressed out, I want you to do as many reps as you are comfortable doing on that first breath. Now, I would tell you, do as many reps as comfortable, but again, some people are gonna go sleepy time and blame me, and it's gonna be my fault. But when you do feel as if you need to take in more air, then stop at lockout to rebreathe. The same exact way that when you're benching, you stop at lockout because your body is able to use its biomechanical strength to support that weight in that position a lot easier than the opposite. So no one ever thinks about when they're benching, they need to rebreathe, bring the bar down to their chest, letting it rest there, taking a couple breaths, and then push back up. Every single person who's ever tried that will tell you that that sucks. That does not work nearly as well as breathing when you're locked out. And the same exact thing is true for the overhead press, but everyone likes to bring that bar down their chest, take a couple breaths there, and then try pressing it out. That is the wrong thing. Once you need more air and you are at lockout, get a couple breaths, fill your belly as much as possible, and brace it down. Now, you also need to remember that just like in the bench press, as that bar descends and you have a full abdomen full of air, it's going to compress the same exact way as it is a balloon that is pumped full of air. So there's gonna be a little bit of rebound in the bottom, which is going to get you at least 1, if not more reps. I can say for sure that in both instances, whether you are going for a 1 rep maximum or multiple reps, using these breathing techniques on the overhead press makes a massive difference in performance. So if you are having any trouble with this or any technique issues, make sure you check out the playlist down below that will help you with the overhead press. I'll also leave a link to my breathing and bracing playlist because maybe some of you who heard me using those terms don't really know what you're talking about, because the breathing and bracing alone in lifting can take you from being a very average lifter to a very above average lifter literally in an hour of practice. So it's something that you definitely want to get down if you care about moving weights on a barbell. So guys, there you go. That is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for all your attention, all the ways that you guys help support me, you help support the channel. It is so incredible, and I thank you so much. I will catch up with you guys later in the week, but until I do, go out something amazing with your lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other, and I'll see you then. I hope this was helpful.